Welcome to another insightful episode of Bug Busters Pest Pulse, where we dive deep into topics that impact both your property and your health. Today, we're unraveling a subject that might surprise you with its significance: the health risks associated with pigeon droppings. And you might be wondering, can something seemingly benign as pigeon droppings pose a real threat? The answer is a resounding yes, and the implications are far more reaching than just a stain on your sidewalk. As we explore this often overlooked topic, we'll uncover how these droppings can be a breeding ground for serious health hazards, affecting not just your property, but also the well-being of those who live or work in pigeon-prone environments. To set the stage, let's consider the urban landscape where pigeons are a common sight, perched on rooftops and ledges, seemingly harmless. Yet, beneath this facade lies a potential health danger that many property owners and occupants are not aware of. Our episode today aims to shed light on these hidden dangers and why understanding them is crucial for anyone who owns or manages a property. Pigeon droppings are not just an aesthetic nuisance. They harbor pathogens that can lead to serious respiratory infections and other health complications. We'll delve into the specific diseases associated with these droppings, providing you with essential knowledge to protect yourself and those around you. As we navigate through today's episode, we'll also discuss the broader implications of pigeon droppings on property maintenance and structural integrity. From corrosion of building materials to blocked drainage systems, the impact is multifaceted and can lead to costly repairs if not addressed promptly. It's not just about maintaining the visual appeal of your property. It's about ensuring a safe and healthy environment for everyone. By the end of this episode, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of the health risks posed by pigeon droppings and the proactive steps you can take to mitigate these risks. We'll share effective bird control solutions and cleaning practices that can make a significant difference in managing this issue. Stay tuned as we explore this question and more on Bug Busters Pest Pulse. Get ready for an episode that not only informs, but empowers you to take control of your environment with confidence. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get started on this journey to understanding and mitigating the health risks of pigeon droppings. As we delve into the health hazards associated with pigeon droppings, it's crucial to recognize the significant risks they pose, particularly concerning respiratory infections. One of the most alarming threats is histoplasmosis, a condition that arises from inhaling spores of the fungus Histoplasma capsulatum. This fungus thrives in environments contaminated by bird droppings, and when those droppings dry and become airborne, they carry the spores that can be easily inhaled by unsuspecting individuals. Histoplasmosis can manifest with symptoms similar to a mild flu in its initial stages, such as fever, cough, and fatigue. However, in severe cases, especially among individuals with compromised immune systems, it can lead to serious lung infections and long-term respiratory issues. Another significant concern is cryptococcosis, caused by the fungus Cryptococcus neoformans, which also favors pigeon droppings as a breeding ground. When inhaled, this fungus can lead to a potentially life-threatening condition known as meningitis, characterized by the inflammation of the membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. The effects of cryptococcosis can be devastating, with symptoms including severe headaches, fever, neck stiffness, and in severe cases, neurological damage. Understanding these risks emphasizes the importance of addressing pigeon droppings promptly and effectively to protect public health. In addition to respiratory infections, pigeon droppings are notorious for harboring a range of harmful bacteria, posing further health threats. Among these bacteria are E. coli and Salmonella, both of which are prevalent in the fecal matter of pigeons. E. coli infections can lead to severe gastrointestinal distress, with symptoms such as abdominal pain, diarrhea, and vomiting. In some cases, complications from E. coli infections can result in kidney failure, particularly in vulnerable populations like children and the elderly. Salmonella, similarly, is a well-known cause of food poisoning, leading to symptoms like fever, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps. The bacteria can spread through direct contact with contaminated surfaces or through the inadvertent transfer of pathogens from hand to mouth. These risks are particularly heightened in areas where droppings accumulate near food preparation or consumption zones. The presence of these bacteria underscores the critical need for stringent sanitation practices and the implementation of robust bird control measures. By mitigating the presence of pigeon droppings, we can significantly reduce the risk of bacterial infections spreading within communities, safeguarding both public health and the integrity of shared spaces. Pigeon droppings are not just unsightly. They serve as an attractive breeding ground for an array of parasites and insects, posing additional health threats to humans and animals alike. The accumulation of these droppings creates a conducive environment for parasites such as bird mites, fleas, and ticks. Bird mites, for instance, thrive near pigeon nests and roosting sites, feeding the blood of the birds. However, when pigeons vacate their nests or if these mites are disturbed, they can migrate into human-occupied spaces in search of new hosts, leading to skin irritation and discomfort. Fleas, another common parasite found in pigeon-infested areas, are notorious vectors for diseases such as plague and murine typhus, and their bites can cause allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Ticks, known carriers of Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses, are also drawn to the warmth and shelter provided by pigeon roosting sites. The presence of these parasites underscores the necessity of managing pigeon populations and their droppings, as their potential to spread disease and discomfort extends beyond the immediate vicinity of their hosts. The implications of insect infestation stemming from pigeon droppings extend significantly into the realm of property sanitation, impacting both residential and commercial environments. Insects such as flies are particularly attracted to the organic matter in droppings, using it as a breeding ground. These flies can then act as vectors, transporting pathogens from the droppings to human food sources and surfaces, thereby increasing the risk of foodborne illnesses. In a commercial setting, particularly within the food processing and hospitality industries, such infestations can pose serious health code violations and reputational damage. The mere presence of flies and other insects can indicate poor sanitation practices, leading to potential fines and closures by health authorities. Moreover, the contamination of food preparation areas by these pests can lead to outbreaks of diseases like salmonella and E. coli infections among consumers. In residential settings, the nuisance and health risks posed by insect infestations can diminish the quality of life for occupants, necessitating costly pest control measures and cleanup efforts. These scenarios highlight the importance of proactive pigeon control and sanitation measures to prevent the initial accumulation of droppings, thereby mitigating the subsequent attraction of parasites and insects. Effective management strategies not only protect public health, but also preserve the integrity and reputation of affected properties. The structural damage caused by pigeon droppings is a significant concern for property owners, as these seemingly innocuous deposits can wreak havoc on buildings and other structures. The acidic nature of pigeon droppings is one of the primary reasons for this damage. Rich in uric acid, these droppings are highly corrosive, and when they accumulate on various surfaces, they can lead to substantial deterioration over time. For instance, when pigeon droppings land on metal surfaces such as railings, gutters, or air conditioning units, the acid begins to eat away at the metal. This process of corrosion not only compromises the appearance of these structures, but it also weakens them, reducing their lifespan and potentially leading to costly repairs or replacements. The degradation can be particularly severe in areas where pigeons frequently roost, as the constant accumulation of droppings accelerates the corrosion process. Over time, this can lead to structural failures, posing safety risks to the building's occupants and visitors. Additionally, the aesthetic damage caused by the corrosion can diminish the overall value of the property, making it less appealing to prospective buyers or tenants. The impact of pigeon droppings, however, is not limited to metal structures alone. Paint and wood are also susceptible to the destructive effects of these droppings. Fresh droppings contain moisture that can seep into painted surfaces, causing the paint to bubble and peel away. As the droppings dry, they harden, bonding tightly to the surfaces, making removal difficult. Often, attempts to clean these hardened droppings result in stripping the paint, necessitating extensive repainting work. This not only incurs additional maintenance costs, but also affects the visual appeal of the property. Wooden structures, on the other hand, suffer from both the moisture and the acidity of the droppings. The moisture can penetrate the wood grain, leading to warping and staining. Over time, acidity can cause the wood to rot, further compromising the structural integrity. This is particularly concerning properties with exposed wooden elements, where the constant need for repairs and replacements can become burdensome. Furthermore, the impact on drainage systems should not be underestimated. Pigeon droppings, along with nesting materials and feathers, often find their way into gutters and downspouts, leading to blockages. When these drainage systems are obstructed, water cannot flow properly, resulting in water damage to roofs, walls, and foundations. The presence of standing water in blocked gutters creates additional problems, such as providing breeding grounds for mosquitoes and other pests. Hence, the comprehensive impact of pigeon droppings on various structural elements of a property is profound, necessitating proactive measures to mitigate these damages effectively. Bird control solutions are critical for maintaining the safety and integrity of properties, especially in urban areas where pigeons are a common nuisance. One effective method for deterring pigeons involves the use of physical barriers. These barriers, such as bird netting and spikes, are designed to prevent pigeons from landing and roosting on buildings. Bird netting can be strategically installed to cover large areas of a building facade, creating an impenetrable barrier that birds cannot breach. This solution is particularly beneficial for protecting rooftops, balconies, and other open spaces where pigeons tend to gather. The netting is usually made from durable materials like polyethylene, which can withstand varying weather conditions and remain effective over time. On the other hand, bird spikes are a popular choice for smaller areas such as ledges, signs, and windowsills. These spikes are not harmful to the birds, but make the surface uncomfortable for landing, thereby encouraging them to seek other roosting spots. Both netting and spikes are simple yet efficient solutions that help maintain the aesthetic appeal of a building while effectively deterring birds. By investing in these physical barriers, property owners can significantly reduce the presence of pigeons and the associated risks of droppings. In addition to physical barriers, professional bird control services offer a comprehensive approach for dealing with severe infestations. These services are particularly advantageous for large commercial properties or when physical barriers alone are insufficient. Professional bird control experts conduct thorough assessments of the property to identify areas of significant pigeon activity. Based on their findings, they develop customized strategies that may include a combination of physical deterrence, habitat modification, and other innovative techniques. For instance, professionals might employ the use of ultrasonic devices that emit high-frequency sounds to deter pigeons without causing harm. Another approach could involve the installation of bird wire systems, which create unstable landing surfaces that pigeons avoid. These systems are nearly invisible and maintain the building's visual appeal. Professional services also extend to humane bird removal, ensuring that any trapped birds are safely relocated. Moreover, these experts are equipped to handle the cleanup and sanitization of areas affected by pigeon droppings using industrial-grade equipment and cleaning solutions. This not only removes existing health hazards, but also discourages pigeons from returning. By engaging professional bird control services, property owners can achieve long-term solutions tailored to their specific needs, effectively safeguarding their buildings and mitigating the health risks associated with pigeon droppings. Cleaning pigeon droppings is not just a mundane task. It is an essential process that requires careful attention to safety due to the potential health hazards involved. The first and foremost consideration when dealing with pigeon droppings is the use of personal protective equipment, PPE. The importance of PPE cannot be overstated, as it serves as the primary barrier between the individual and the numerous pathogens that may be present in the droppings. When cleaning these droppings, it is crucial to wear disposable gloves to prevent direct skin contact with the potentially infectious material. Additionally, a respirator mask, preferably of the N95 variety or better, should be worn to avoid inhaling any harmful particles that may become airborne during the cleaning process. In areas where droppings are particularly abundant or have been left undisturbed for some time, the risk of inhaling harmful spores or bacteria increases significantly, making a mask indispensable. Safety goggles protect the eyes from any accidental splashes of cleaning solution or debris. Finally, wearing coveralls or protective clothing ensures that no contaminated material encounters regular clothing, which could otherwise spread contaminants. By donning the appropriate PPE, cleaners can significantly reduce the risk of infection and ensure a safer environment for themselves and others. Once properly equipped, the next step is to focus on the cleaning techniques themselves, which are critical in minimizing health risks associated with pigeon droppings. The process begins with thoroughly wetting the droppings before any physical removal attempts. This step is crucial because it prevents dust and dried particles from becoming airborne, which could potentially carry harmful pathogens into the respiratory system. A gentle spray of water or a similar liquid can effectively dampen the area, reducing the risk of dust. Following this, a disinfectant solution specifically approved for bird dropping cleanup should be applied. This solution should be allowed to sit for a recommended period to effectively neutralize any pathogens present in the droppings. Once the area is adequately treated, the droppings can be carefully scraped or scrubbed away. It is important to perform this task gently to avoid creating any additional dust. The waste should be collected in sealed plastic bags to prevent any further contamination and disposed of in accordance with local hazardous waste regulations. For larger accumulations or areas that are difficult to reach, it is often advisable to hire professional cleaning services. These professionals have access to industrial-grade equipment and follow strict safety protocols to ensure thorough cleaning with minimal risk. After the droppings are removed, a final round of disinfection should be conducted on all affected surfaces, paying particular attention to porous materials such as wood and concrete that may require multiple applications of disinfectant. By following these meticulous cleaning techniques, the risk of spreading infections can be significantly reduced. Preventing future pigeon problems is a proactive approach that not only safeguards the integrity of your property, but also ensures the well-being of those who reside or work within it. Regular inspections play a crucial role in this preventive strategy, acting as a first line of defense against potential pigeon infestations. By routinely examining your property, you can identify early signs of pigeon activity, such as droppings, feathers, and nesting materials, which are often found in attics, balconies, ledges, and other potential roosting sites. Catching these signs early allows property owners to address small issues before they escalate into significant problems. This early intervention is more cost-effective and less disruptive than dealing with full-blown infestation. Additionally, regular inspections help maintain the aesthetic appeal of your property by preventing the unsightly accumulation of droppings and nesting debris. Over time, these inspections also provide valuable insights into patterns of pigeon activity, enabling you to tailor your prevention strategies more effectively. Eliminating food sources is another critical component of preventing pigeon problems. Pigeons are opportunistic feeders and will flock to areas where food is readily available. This means that property owners must be vigilant about managing waste and food remnants. Ensuring that trash bins are securely closed with tight-fitting lids is a simple yet effective measure to deter pigeons. Additionally, outdoor eating areas should be cleaned promptly after use to remove any leftover food or crumbs that might attract these birds. It's also important to discourage people from feeding pigeons, whether intentionally or unintentionally, as this can create a dependency and encourage them to congregate in large numbers. Public awareness campaigns or signage can be effective tools in educating the community about the consequences of feeding pigeons and the importance of keeping food sources inaccessible. By reducing the availability of food, your property becomes far less attractive to pigeons, which can significantly decrease the likelihood of them settling nearby. Sealing entry points is an essential step in preventing pigeons from making your property their home. Pigeons seek sheltered areas to build their nests, such as attics, vents, and eaves, where they are protected from the elements and predators. To prevent this, property owners should conduct thorough inspections to identify and seal any potential entry points. And this can be achieved using materials like hardware cloth, caulk, or expanding foam to block gaps and openings. Regular maintenance is crucial to ensure these barriers remain effective over time, as weather conditions and wear and tear can create new vulnerabilities. Additionally, installing deterrents such as bird spikes or netting can prevent pigeons from landing on ledges, rooftops, and other flat surfaces. These measures not only prevent nesting, but also deter pigeons from congregating on your property altogether. By implementing these preventive strategies, property owners can protect their buildings from the damage and health risks associated with pigeon infestations. As we wrap up this episode of Bug Busters Pest Pulse, let's take a moment to reflect on the significant insights we've gathered today about the often overlooked health risks and structural damage posed by pigeon droppings. We've delved into the troubling reality that these seemingly innocuous birds can carry a host of invisible dangers, from respiratory infections like histoplasmosis and cryptococcosis to gastrointestinal threats posed by bacteria such as E. coli and salmonella. The presence of pigeons around our living and working spaces is far more than a mere inconvenience. These pathogens can transform our environments into hazardous areas, affecting the health of everyone who inhabits or frequents these spaces. Moreover, the attraction of parasites and insects to pigeon droppings compounds the problem, introducing additional vectors of disease into our properties and communities. Each of these points underscores the importance of being informed and proactive in managing and mitigating the risks associated with pigeon droppings. Similarly, we've explored the corrosive impact of pigeon droppings on the structural integrity of our buildings. The uric acid in these droppings can erode metals, stone, wood, and paint, leading to significant maintenance challenges and costs. From weakening metal surfaces to causing unsightly and damaging pitting in stone facades, the structural threats are as serious as health risks. This deterioration not only mars the aesthetic appeal of our properties, but can also lead to costly repairs and potential safety hazards if left unchecked. Drainage systems are vulnerable to blockages caused by droppings and nesting materials, leading to water damage and creating breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Understanding these implications is crucial for property owners and managers who strive to maintain safe, attractive, and functional buildings. Considering these dangers, it's essential to take proactive measures to safeguard both our health and our properties. Implementing effective bird control solutions is a critical step in this process. From installing physical barriers like netting and spikes to employing professional bird control services for severe infestations, there are practical strategies available to minimize the presence and impact of pigeons on your property. Utilizing industry-recommended cleaning and removal practices, including the use of personal protective equipment, are vital in ensuring that those tasked with maintaining cleanliness are not exposed to unnecessary health risks. Regular inspections, sealing entry points, and eliminating food sources can further prevent pigeon problems from escalating. As we conclude this episode, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each of you for joining us on Bug Busters Pest Pulse. Your commitment to learning and taking action to protect your spaces is invaluable. Remember, the safety and integrity of your environment are worth every effort. By staying informed and proactive, you can effectively manage and mitigate the risks associated with pigeon droppings. Let's continue to foster communities that are safe, healthy, and resilient. As we part ways today, let us be guided by the wisdom of prevention. For as the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, take care and stay vigilant.